Okay. Um, I've been working with the electric choke on the car, um, and I've had an extremely difficult time finding information on this. I know there's people that know, but it has not made it to YouTube. And I'm by no means any kind of expert on this, but I did want to share what I've found so far. I do have to thank, I found a video by My Next Project on YouTube. Um, and he has excellent two videos, one on switching to a mechanical, and then he later on takes the same carburetor, puts electric choke on it. Very good videos. And I believe he has links to another video that also has good information. Also like to thank Mr. B Speed Shop in Rock Hill, South Carolina, 803 324 4858. They have been indispensable through the years. I hope that some of y'all still have a local speed shop because it can save you so much time and headache rather than just getting everything offline. Another source, Allstate Carburetor in New York. Um, that I think they do Edelbrock and stuff too, but they specialize in Holley. They've been around a really long time. The body on this carburetor is from Allstate's carburetor. This is a bit of an unusual carburetor. It's a 750 with annular boosters, but it's an actual Holley body, and that's one of their billet metering blocks. So they have also been extremely helpful, and they have a lot of good information on their website. And that's how I found out about some of this choke stuff. Okay, so there's two different chokes. There's the 45-223. That is an internal vacuum choke. That is this one right here. You have a port on the back, and that's where the vacuums for the piston in the choke goes in. This was originally a external vacuum unit, but it was a pain having the extra vacuum line run in there, so I modified it. Unfortunately, probably incorrectly, because it's got some issues. That's why we have another one here. This is the newer model, and the external is a 45-224. And on that part number, if there's no letters after the 223 or 224, it is this version. And this version has an external port with a screen in it. So the vacuum is drawn through the housing with the choke spring. And it gets air from under the hood. I understand from one of the videos, I think you can actually pipe heat into this. I don't entirely know what effect that would have. The later models are either going to be 224 or 223 with an S, or this one is an SA after it. I don't know the difference between those two, but it still has the provisions. But I checked this very carefully. This is not drilled. This is just here. Normally there will be a hole drilled from here to here. So your vacuum basically comes in, leaks around the piston. There's the piston. And draws in here and sucks outside air through here. I've seen some videos saying this was for cooling of the coil. But they've evidently just dropped that. So this one doesn't have any provisions to cool the coil. I have this style on a 670 Street Avenger that's on my pickup truck, and it works flawlessly. And my modification to this I don't think is quite right, so we're going to switch to this one, and hopefully the problem will be solved. So I think that's about it for the choke. That's like I say, it took a minute to get this information. Lots of web searches and trying to find videos. I mean, they show you the basics of how to set it up. I do have some questions about some people are using the adjustment that's in the piston that limits the travel of the piston. It's a little screw right there, and by screwing that in, it raises this basically, and that's going to have an effect on how open the choke would be. I've seen one video saying it has something to do with how fast the choke comes off, but I don't see any evidence of that being true. But I haven't got into that part. Hopefully won't have to get into that. Like the one that's on the 670 is just like this. Popped it on, and of course you have to do the adjustment for how they call it rich and lean. It's basically how much choke you have and how fast the choke comes off by adjusting back and forth. There's plenty of videos on that. But I think that's basically it for the choke stuff. And on this car, this is the 69 Nova. I was doing the video on the seat upholstery. I never followed up with anything else. It's been very busy, working a lot of overtime. So, but anyhow, quick look at the car before we go. This is the there we are. That's the seat bottom out of the, I believe it was 71 seat that we recovered. I just left the backs. I had already done them, and they were absolutely fine. So I didn't change those at all. And unfortunately, Cat got in and ruined the upholstery on the seat that was in here, so I had to get a new bottom for it. But she's come along. It's painted. The paint's not perfect, but this is the first car I've ever painted. So, and I drive it. Back to the choke thing. That is one reason that I'm working with this electric choke. I know a lot of people with cars like this don't use a choke or don't care about a choke. And I'm in Rock Hill, South Carolina, so we're in a warm area. But I drive my stuff. I drive a lot. And I drive year round because there's rarely salt on the roads. So that is, to me, having a good functional choke and not having to deal with a choke cable in the car and all that is well worth it. It's much better in these cars from the factory. You get in there, you push the pedal down one time if it's set upright, and you crank it, and it runs flawlessly. And that's what my truck does. Now, if it's 30 something degrees, yeah, you push it twice, and then everything works as it should, and I will have this running like that. So if it's 20 or 50 or 80 degrees, I just get in the car and go. Anyhow, thanks so much. I hope this was helpful.